Hey guys, it's Chucky here from SojourneringScholar.com. In this video, I'm going to be doing a quick review of the official guide to the TOEFL iBT test, the 6th edition by ETS, to help you determine if this is the right book for you as you prepare to take the TOEFL iBT exam. Coming right up. Now, some features of this book, it includes 4 full-length practice tests, and if you make a purchase of a brand new version of the book, you would find that it comes with a digital access code on the very last page. And with this access code, you can actually download the on-screen version of the same 4 full-length practice tests contained in print. Now, these on-screen versions of the same 4 full-length practice tests in print will allow you to simulate the exact same testing conditions that you can find when you're taking the TOEFL iBT exam. Now, with the digital resource that accompanies this book, you're also going to find audio files that contain conversations and lectures that you're going to need when you're studying the listening, the speaking, and the writing chapters of the book. So as you can already tell, the downside of this digital resource is that you don't have access to the resource online. Instead, you must make a software installation on a computer, be that a Mac or a PC computer. And furthermore, as a buyer of the book, you are limited to a maximum of 4 downloads of 4 software installations of this digital resource on your computer. Now, when thoroughly reviewing this book, I did find that the book does a really good job of explaining the different types of questions and tasks that you find in all 4 sections of the TOEFL iBT. But of course, this is expected as the book is made by ETS, which are the makers of the TOEFL iBT exam. In addition, the book does a really good job of explaining the different sections of the TOEFL iBT exam for a total beginner who has no idea of what to expect on the TOEFL iBT exam. Now, when it comes to the effectiveness of the test-taking strategies provided for each section of the TOEFL iBT exam, I found that the strategies in the book were quite underwhelming and there was a lot to be desired. Now, the lack of test-taking strategies was even worse on the speaking and the writing chapters of this book, and since many TOEFL iBT exam test takers tend to struggle more on the speaking and the writing section, I would have expected more test-taking strategies on these sections. Now, in my experience taking the on-screen version of the practice test, I did find a few flaws. One main flaw that stands out when taking the on-screen version of the practice test is that after completing each section of the test, you would have to return to a main menu to start the next section. Now, this is clearly not the experience of the real TOEFL iBT exam, where once you're done taking the reading section, the listening section comes right after, followed by a 10-minute break, and then you're presented with the speaking and the writing sections. Another flaw of the interactive practice test that comes with this book is that during the speaking section, your responses are not automatically recorded by the software. So this means that in addition to using your computer, you would also need to record your responses into an audio recording device. Another major flaw of the interactive practice test of this book is that in the reading section, there is no review button that allows you to easily navigate to any one of the 30 questions in the reading section. So you're all going to be restricted to using the back or the next button to move along any of the 30 questions on the reading section. Now, when reading the reviews of this book, I did see comments from buyers who complained about not finding the access code on the last page of the book. Now, this tends to be the case for buyers who purchase the international version of the book. So if you happen to buy the international version of this book and you can't find your access code, I would recommend you contact the publisher, which you can find the contact information on the first couple pages of this book. Now, apart from some of the flaws already mentioned about this book, there are certain things I really liked about this book. And one of those things is that this is the only book where you can find authentic sample responses to the speaking and the writing section of a TOEFL iBT exam. And not only would you find authentic sample responses for the speaking section and the writing section, but you're also going to find comments from an actual ETS grader who has rated these responses as high-level responses, mid-level responses, and low-level responses. So with this kind of information, you have a clear idea of what a good response, a medium response, and a poor response for the speaking and the writing sections look like. Now, just for the fact that you can find authentic TOEFL iBT practice questions that are going to be of a similar difficulty to the questions that you can expect on the day of your TOEFL iBT exam, this is definitely a book you must have in your practice arsenal. Now, of course, I can understand why ETS, as the makers of the TOEFL iBT exam, would not make a book describing different TOEFL iBT test taking strategies. This is because ETS would like to make you think that the only way you can crack the TOEFL iBT exam is if you've acquired years and years of experience using English in an academic setting. However, the TOEFL iBT exam is a standardized test, and just like any other standardized test out there, there are proven strategies that if you master, you can significantly improve your scores. Now, in conclusion, based on the fact that this is one of few TOEFL iBT prep books on the market where you can find authentic TOEFL iBT practice questions, you definitely want to have this book in your TOEFL prep game plan. And if you're looking for more authentic TOEFL practice questions, you can stack this book with the official TOEFL iBT test Volume 1 and Volume 2 linked in the description section below. Now, if you're someone who's really looking to level up your TOEFL iBT score by learning about proven TOEFL iBT test taking strategies, then I recommend you go with the Barron's TOEFL iBT prep book linked in the description section below.